Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Om Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yatkripatamaham Vande Paramanandamadhavam. Om Achaturvadano Brahma Dvibahuraparo Harihi Abhalalochana Shambhu Bhagavan Badarayanaha. Om Dakshine Lakshmano Yasya Vame Cha Janakatmaja Purato Marutiryasya Tam Vande Raghunandanam. After talking about the practice of meditation in verse number 46, after giving basic guidelines and saying that we need to withdraw all our faculty and try and get established in the self with the exclusion of everything else. But when we open our eyes, look at this world, we find there is this world of plurality still exists. Then what do I do at that time? I cannot sit with my eyes closed all the time. So here Bhagavan is indicating, verse number 47, Vishwam yadetat paramatma darshanam Vilapayedatmani sarvakarane Purnaschidanandamayo vatishthate Na veda bahyam na cha kinchidantaram. Vishwam. This Vishwa itself means that which is Vividham. Vividham Shvayate iti Vishwam. This Vishwa, yad etat, that which can be recognized as this, actually understand it to be Paramatma Darshanam. So this Vishwa Darshanam is actually Paramatma Darshanam. It is that Supreme Self only which is manifesting and appearing as this world of plurality. So Vishwam Paramatma Darshanam. How? So he says, because this Supreme Self is Sarva Karana. It is the cause, and cause actually it itself appears as the effect. If we look at various ornaments, it is actually gold which appears as these various shapes, these various names. Similarly, it is that clay only which appears as different pots, It is that same waters in the ocean that appears as all these waves. So, that cause only is appearing as all this. So, when we look at this world of plurality, if we can connect to the cause, then actually nothing else but the cause is seen. If I look at the ornament, its name, form, utility, there may be different types of things. But if I understand gold, if I connect to gold through every ornament, then what happens is I am seeing only one gold throughout. So it is not limited to one particular name and form, it is beyond all these names and forms. So, to be able to recognize that cause, that gold in every ornament, to be recognized, to be able to recognize that water in every wave, to be able to recognize the clay in every pot, is what here said, Vilapayed Atmani Sarvakarane. Merge this whole pluralistic world into that one cause, which is the self. So merging means what? Merging means physically I cannot take the whole world and put it inside the self. That is not the merging. Merging means to be able to shift my attention from the names and forms to the very existence of it. Because even names and forms are all existent. They are all there. Table is there, book is there, bookmark is there. So, person is there, the house is there, everything is. That existence, if I am able to connect to, then what happens? These different various things are as though merged into that one Karanam. That is Atmani Sarvakarane. That is my own self. So what is this world? This world is not different from the self. Example, if we have to say, we all have experienced dreams. The dream world, the person who is dreaming, the person in the dream, and also the experiences of the dream, all that is nothing but my own mind. If I am able to recognize my mind there, the waker's mind, then what happened? The dream has merged into the waker's mind, which means I have woken up. Till the time I don't wake up, I cannot merge the dream experiences into the waker's mind, the cause. So, I only have projected this dream world and I am waking up from that. So, I am shifting my attention from the names and forms and the habit of considering all these names and forms to be absolutely real. From that, I am shifting to understanding what the existence principle is, which is in and through every experience. So, when my attention thus shifts, automatically this plurality as though merges into the consciousness, the self. So, Atmani Sarvakarane Vilapayet. Merge it. Then what happens? Purnash Chidanandamayaha Avatishthate. Then what remains and what stays? Purnaha. It is complete, infinite. Chidanandamaya. Chit, consciousness. Ananda, bliss. Mayaha means full of. So, full of consciousness and bliss, that infinite self alone remains after that. Once I wake up, then all dream experiences, everything has been merged into the waker's mind, and then only the waker's mind remains, nothing else. Similarly, here also, the complete, infinite consciousness, bliss absolute remains once this whole world of pluralistic experiences merges into the self, the consciousness. Then after that, one person, they may, after that, what does he know? He knows only the self. Na veda bahyam, na kinchid antaram. Then after that, there is no outside for him, no inside for him. There is no one dream was separate, I am separate. There is no such distinction for him. There is only one homogeneous self, nothing else. That is why when we go to a jeweler with various types of ornaments, he doesn't look at the ornament much. We say that I want to, make something out of it, or I want to sell it, or whatever it may be. He will not look at the ornament. We will look what design is there, whether it fits me or not. He is not interested in this. Why? What he is seeing is gold. So directly he will wait. He will not look at it much. He will say, okay. How much will I get? Let me see the design. Design is very nice. I'll give you more money. Nothing. Vajan kitna hai? This much grams, you will get this much money. Over. No other consideration. Why? But for him, only gold exists. For us, it may be a bangle. And that bangle also given by my great-grandmother. And she has used it. And that great-grandmother also received it as prasad from some sadhu. So, very precious. For me, it is all that precious and all those things. For that jeweler, he will say, this is actually, this is silver. सोने का सिर्फ पानी चढ़ाया हुआ है. Huh? But my grandmother's bangle, whether it's grandmother's bangle or even God's bangle, how can, it is silver and it is only सोने का पानी, उतना ही पैसा मिलेगा. Oh. So is there anybody else, any other jeweler? That jeweler also is seeing only the karanam. He is not seeing the names and forms. For him it doesn't make any difference. So we make a Shivalinga out of that gold also. If it is 5 grams, it will be 5 grams only. Shivling ka to thoda zyada de do. Shivling, the name and form doesn't matter for him. For him only gold, nothing else. So he is not interested in the name and form. Similarly, a realized master is not interested in the names and forms and the various experiences, because he has already seen this world as only that expression of consciousness that is one everywhere. Then it really doesn't matter what is there in all these things. I keep analyzing my dreams and try to find the significance of my dreams. All these things I do only till the time I consider the dreams to be real. The moment I understand it is unreal, after that, what analysis? So many things we are giving so much of importance to, and then we are investing so much of energy into it. But actually, is it required? How real is it? How lasting is it? I give so much of importance to my likes and dislikes. Are my likes and dislikes real? Whether beneficial or not, whether it is productive, counterproductive, all that we are not talking. We are even talking about the main thing. Is it real? Real means it has to be constant. Now my likes and dislikes change every hour. Morning I like something, dislike something else. By afternoon my likes, dislikes have changed. Now this I like. But you disliked in the morning. Yeah, morning I disliked, but now I like it. Our relationships, our constantly very fickle mind. Fickle means very quickly changing. Chanchala. So if that itself is not steady, then why to give it so much of importance? The happiness that I derive from experiencing any sense object, is it constant? Is it real? How real is it? It keeps on changing. Let us say someone offers me a cup of coffee. I love coffee. Okay, I had coffee. Very good. I say, no, I want more coffee. Okay, have more, as much as you want, keep having. How much? After some time, I'll start hating that coffee. Why? Because it is too much. Means what happened? That likeness for the coffee, that only has changed. Or the happiness that I was deriving has now slowly diminished, gone. Now, if that is not constant, which means it is not real, then how much importance am I giving to all this? Every name and form I am giving importance to. But the real thing, the cause, the substratum of all these experiences, that I do not even know. And what is that substratum? Me. I am the substratum. Which I? This body. Body also constantly changing. So that also cannot be real. Mind is constantly changing, intellect constantly changing, getting upgraded. So what is that constant cause or the substratum of all these various instruments and experiences through the instruments? What is all this? What is that? That one. And once I have seen that, after that, as much of variety is presented before me, I will still keep looking at that only. We must have seen those optical illusions. One picture is there, and just by superficial viewing, there'll be a flower vase, and there'll be some, men sitting there and playing some instrument, and all. It will be this thing. Then they'll say, no, you bring it close to your eyes and then look at it carefully. And once you look at it, you see horses running. Where did horses come from? They say, see, this is the head, and this is the eye, this is the tail, these are the feet. I saw the horse. Okay, once I have seen the horse, I cannot unsee it. After that, whenever I pick it up, I will see the horse. I may see the flower vase also. I may see the people playing some instruments also. All that I may see, but I cannot unsee the horse. So then later if somebody asks, what are you seeing? For me, the most important thing will be horse, which was not apparent earlier. Now I can see it. So it is actually seeing the horse. Other things are okay. So the real thing, and once I see it, after that it is not possible to, it won't disappear from me. So each time I will immediately able to see it. Those 3D images also, suddenly it will be just a pattern. So what pattern this is? And then I see, there is Om written in that. How did I see? I saw it. Then after that, once I have learned that art of seeing it, after that, I keep seeing it. Then I don't give importance to the patterns which are in the 3D image. I give importance to that 3D image which emerges out when I see it the right way. So this is what here is said, that I am giving importance and reality to this names and forms, but when I understand that all this is actually the cause itself appearing in these forms, then once my attention shifts to the cause, that is the self, then this, I may still see the world, but I know this is the cause only, and I am still experiencing the cause only through all these things. In the language of bhakti, if we see, even if we, let us say, love, general, our love, it may not be as elevated as bhakti, but just the relationship love. When a mother very lovingly talks to the child, feeds the child, provides for the child, everything, and sometimes scolds the child, if needed, hits the child. But all these things, one thing constant is the love of the mother. Now, when I start giving importance to that love, which is behind all these expressions, then what happens? I will see the expressions. But in this language, I have merged all the various expressions into that cause, the substratum that is love. Then, what do I see? Vishwadarshanam, Atmadarshanam. So all these different expressions is only expression of love. So I see love only. So if she scolds me, love. If she embraces me, love. If she gives me something, love. If she refuses to give me something, love. Similarly, I see this world good, bad, ugly, beautiful, whatever it may be, everything is Atmadarshanam only. That is why that guru who was beaten up and then the Shishya brought him back, nursed him back to health, and as he was giving him something to eat, he asked, "Who did this? I will chop off his hands." So the guru said, "The same hands which are giving me food today." Because for me, I am seeing that Paramatma only in all these things. So for me, there is no difference. So from that standpoint of an awakened master, there is only Purnaschidanandamayaha avatisthate. So that alone remains, that alone is the experience, and in that experience, a man of realization revels constantly. Now, the next topic that is taken up, it's not a separate topic, it's the same thing only, but Bhagavan now wants us to experience this. Bhagavan gave us the pathway. How did it start? Karma Yoga, performance of your Varnashrama Dharma as a dedication to the Lord, purification of the mind, and through that purification, go to a guru, gain the knowledge, and you listen to the knowledge, then reflect upon it, and then the practice of meditation, nididhyasanam, and then liberation. So this whole journey, he has talked about the earlier steps, and now, since a few verses now that we have been seeing, Bhagavan is guiding us on meditation. So he also said, Vivikta Deshe, Asinaha. So one has to choose the right time and place, sit down. All this we have seen. So all this guidance, external preparatory guidance and all, he has told us. And this is how, step by step, you, when you're closing your eyes, you withdraw from all the other things and invest in the self. Either open, seeing the world, that also understand, try and recognize the existence, the Sat Swarupa that is there everywhere, and then again invest the mind in that same self. So here, another way of again withdrawing the mind and investing in the self. So these are all, we can call them as different techniques or different doorways. Shastra, it is said as Upalabdhi Dwara or Alambanam. Alambanam means some support. When I have to walk somewhere and reach somewhere, I need some support. So if there is a railing, then I can hold it and walk. But if there is nothing, it becomes a little difficult. Only people who are very adept at it can walk. Otherwise, most of us need some support. And that is why there is space given for us for Upasana. Upasana in terms of any murti, any picture. So Upasana is, what is Upasana? The spirit of Upasana is to superimpose the thought of something great in something very ordinary. So now actually this is Upasana is also superimposition. And what are we now doing? Getting rid of superimposition. So Adhyasa. So what is the difference between Adhyasa and Upasana? Because both is superimposition only. So Adhyasa is because of my Ajnana Avaranam, the veil of ignorance, there is something projected. So I don't know the reality, so I consider something else to be the reality. The words used by Puja Gurudev is because there is non-apprehension that gives rise to misapprehension. So that is avarana vikshepa, or here called as ajnanam and adhyasa. Now here in this upasana, I know what the symbol is. I know the ideal, which is higher, greater, nobler, which is perhaps my goal, and that I consciously, not out of ignorance, consciously superimpose and get connected to that nobler ideal through this symbol. So the objective of this, first thing is, it is brought about. It is not that I am lost. In fact, I am finding my way through this. That I am associating with something ordinary, some symbol, which is tangible, which I can see, which is available to my senses to experience. Through that symbol, I am connecting to that abstract, the subtle idea, and trying to establish myself there. We all took that example of going to all these pilgrimages, Tirupati, etc., standing there and all. And when we reach there for darshan, immediately eyes close. So what is happening is that same thing. If we may say, okay, if I have to only close my eyes, why to go to Tirupati? Here only close your eyes. But does the same thing happen when I close my eyes here at home? And when I stand there in front of Lord? No, the same thing doesn't happen. There is an effect there. Why? Because that becomes for me the alambana, the support. That becomes for me the symbol which helps me to focus within. That symbol helps me. So as soon as I see that symbol, my eyes shut and I go within. So it is playing a role. We cannot deny that. And that is why upasana is given as a tool for every seeker. Even if we are talking about Advaita, Advaita is my goal. Yes, no doubt about it. Bhagavan is talking about Advaita only here. But what is he using as a tool? He is saying, you have to use a tool. But now Bhagavan is not talking about the gross symbol, like a murti or a shivalinga or something. He is not talking about that gross symbol. He is saying that stage has been crossed now. Now we are practicing meditation. It is a subtle sadhana. And for that subtle sadhana, I don't have to again go back to a grosser symbol and do some upasana. So here, there is a subtle upasana that is being talked about. What is this subtle upasana? It is called Omkara upasana. Omkara upasana is using this sound symbol, that is Om, to connect to that self. Because directly connecting to the attributeless, nameless, formless self is difficult. Because the mind cannot conceive of something which has no attributes at all. You say, okay, invest your mind. Where? Where there is no name, no form, no attributes. What is that? How can I conceive of such an idea? So something which can take me there. Some kind of, it is like, when I want to, sometimes this Dooj ka Chand, it is very thin line, one line only is there. Very difficult to see. So somebody sees it. Now the other person is not able to see. Then what does that person help? Say, can you see? Just go with my finger. And the tip of the finger, just beyond that, you can see that moon. So what I am doing, I am using the finger, but I am going beyond the finger to see what it is. So the finger is not the moon. Looking at the finger is not looking at the moon. But this finger helps me to take my mind in that direction and go beyond it also. So this is what it is, this upasana. Any upasana is that only. Even if, Shravana Masa, we do, Shivalinga, Abhisheka and all. What is happening actually? What is Abhisheka? Abhisheka is also the thoughts of my mind flowing to the Lord constantly. But okay, then the Lord is the Shivalinga. What has actually happened? This is just a shape, a symbol. But for me, this is the Lord. A person who does not know may not recognize anything. But I have, which means what? I have superimposed a noble idea on something very ordinary. One stone is there. Oh, yeah, this is only stone. We go to Vaishno Devi, all this difficult trek. 14 kilometers we walk up from Katra. And then we wait in the line. Sometimes overnight we have to wait. And then they push us in. Juko, jao. They push us in, and then we have to come out other side. Sometimes people get hurt and all. You are coming, like entering where there is lot of light, and then you are entering, it is dark inside. So you are trying to see. And then so many people are pushed out, and after they come out, they say, "Dekhna kya tha udhar? Vaishno Devi kahan?" Then say, "There is that stone, you saw that? That is Vaishno." To see that, I went all this way. But that symbol is the one which for me is not just the stone, but for me it is Devi herself. So when I see that, I am seeing Devi only. So I am not, पत्थर देख लिया, ऐसा कोई नहीं पूछता. What do we say? Devi के दर्शन हुए, Vaishno Devi के दर्शन हुए. We won't say that, no, did you see the stone? You saw, no? Okay, let's go back. We went, saw the stone and came. Nobody talks like that. He said, we had such good Devi's darshan. She gave one nice beating also to me. That, sudhar jao abhi, chalo. So, we went and saw Devi. Means what happened? The mind was connected to that Supreme, not giving importance to what it is seeing. The symbol is not as important as the idea it represents, the ideal it represents. So that's why when we hear people saying that these Indians, these Hindus are worshipping stones and all. So where are we worshipping stones? We are worshipping only one Lord, that's all, only one, Ishvara. But all these forms are He alone. So when in the language of meditation or knowledge, when we say merge this whole world of plurality into that one cause which is the self, in the language of devotion, the same thing is, you see all these as the symbols representing that same ideal. So therefore, Upasana is very different from Adhyasa. This is also superimposition, means we are still in that state of being lost only. We are finding a way here. There we are lost, because there it is just, we have assumed, okay, this is what it must be. I don't know who I am, so this body only I am. That is Adhyasa. Whereas here, I am seeing something ordinary, but I am connecting to something which is supreme. So that is upasana. And here what upasana? Om is the symbol. And what symbol? It is not a physical shape. Om is a sound symbol. Subtler. No form. Om. Okay, is Om a name also? It is not a specific name. It is not associated to any form. Still, it has a name as well as form. So when we say Om, what comes to mind? That's a form. And that is so many people say that this Om, actually, Ganesh ji's form is of that of Om only. That is called Pranav Swarupa. His form is of Om. So it seems to have a name and form. Om, name, and that form. And see, Om, the way it is written, it is not any alphabet of in any letter of the alphabet. Devanagari, Lipi. Om is different from all. And Om actually has 3 syllables. A, U, M. But it is written very differently. So it has a form, it has a name, yet it is not a specific name and form. That is why Om has this special charm, that it is closest to the formless and nameless, but also has a form and name for us to hold on to. That is exactly what Shivalinga also does. What is Shivalinga? Actually, the part we see up, inside there is the rest of it also. And there are various, in different lineages and different paramparas, there are different ways of this installation of Shivalinga. Some places we see a circular thing that is coming out, but inside there is a hexagon and an octagon and a square. So such kind of levels are also there inside, which we are not able to see. It is in the installation. Some places it is an oval. So inside also the rest of the ellipse is there. So it is a complete elliptical shape. Now whichever it may represent, it is actually representing the full infinite reality. It is manifest yet unmanifest. It is a form, yet not a particular form. So similarly here, but it is still a physical form. But Om is not even a physical form. It is a sound symbol. So there is a subtler symbol here being used for an advanced seeker. We have traveled with Bhagwan. And very briefly, Bhagwan has indicated to Lakshmana, and all these, points we've reached a stage where Bhagwan is saying, you are not able to do this directly, then take support. Support of what? Om. So this Omkara Upasana is advised. So we'll read the verse. Purvam samadher akhilam vichintayet Omkaramatram sacharacharam jagat Tadeva vachyam pranavo hi vachakah Vibhavyate ajnanavashanna bodhatah Ajnanavashanna bodhatah. Purvam samadhehe. So, by following the instructions given so far, still if we are not able to succeed to go beyond these names and forms and get established in the self, that getting established is called samadhi. If that is not yet possible, after all these instructions and even maybe little bit of practice and trial, still we find it difficult, then he says, Akhilam vichintayet omkara matram. Akhilam characharam sacharacharam jagat omkara matram iti vichintayet. You superimpose this whole universe, sacharacharam jagat, akhilam, full, complete, as omkara matram, as omkara alone. So what is Om? This whole universe. So the previous verse said this whole universe, Vishwa, is actually Paramatma Darshanam, and merge it with Paramatma, shift your attention from the names and forms to the cause. Now if that is not possible, never mind, you take the support of Om. Superimpose the idea of this entire universe upon Om. And then when you chant Om, what you are actually doing, you are as though connecting to the whole world of names and forms. But can you chant continuously Om? You will stop. Om actually doesn't have 3 syllables, it has 4 parts. A, U, Ma, and there is some silence also. It starts with silence, ends into silence. So when we chant Om, this silence. Now if the whole world has been superimposed on that sound symbol called Om, when that Om chanting gets over, during the chanting, the whole universe has come to mind. I have got connected. Upasana. I have got connected while I am chanting. When the chanting gets over and merges into silence, what is happening? The Om sound merges into silence. The whole world merges into that is the second. So this is Omkara Upasana. Tadeva Vachyam Pranavo hi Vachakaha. That Paramatman alone existing or appearing as this whole universe is the Vachyam, is what is indicated, but indicated by this Omkara, Om sound. And this Upasana is required, Vibhavyate, this practice has to be done, Ajnana Vashat na bodhataha. Not once knowledge is gained, it is to be practiced to gain knowledge when we are still ignorant. So Omkara Upasana is not after gaining the knowledge. Gaining the knowledge as in, we are not talking about information in the intellect. We are talking about knowledge as in direct experience. Before gaining that direct experience only, that is why Purvam Samadhehe. Before Samadhi only, I am not able to establish in that. Therefore, I use this. So this bhavana, this upasana can be done or needs to be done only in the realm of ignorance and not in the state of absorption that has been achieved or the ultimate knowledge or direct experience that has come. Before that only it is required. Otherwise, we don't need any other practice once that is achieved. So the ultimate goal is this direct knowledge. Till that it takes place, we have to. Acha. Oh, now, how to superimpose this whole world on Omkara? What is this superimposition like? What is to be superimposed? On what? So the next 3 verses are going to take us through this upasana. Taking up each syllable and saying which one stands for what and how we can keep proceeding and progressing on this path. So very detailed manner this Omkara Upasana has been explained. this is the thought which has been elaborated even in the Mandukya Upanishad Karikas by Gaudapadacharya ji, who is the guru of Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya ji's guru. So, Paramaguru. He has explained, elaborated upon the Mandukya Upanishad, having this Omkara to be a very important tool in the seeker's development. So we will take that up in the next class. But it is a very beautiful technique or great support. All the Upanishads talk so greatly about this Omkara. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Harihi Om.